If you ever said, I want to lose weight, but I don't know what to eat, or I keep falling off, but I don't have a plan, then this video is for you. Hey fam, welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be another meal prep video. And if you've been following me, you know that meal prepping has definitely helped me on my journey to losing 95 pounds and also maintaining and keeping that weight off. If you're new here, welcome. My name is DeeDee, and in today's video, we are gonna be making a lunch and a dinner meal prep. Y'all, the lunch meal prep is gonna be kind of fun. We're making a copycat version of the Firehouse Subs Hook Ladder salad, okay? Why? Because I love that salad, and why I'm gonna go and pay an arm and a leg for that salad if I can make it myself. So that's what we're making this week for our lunch prep. And for dinner, we are making some juicy oven-baked drumsticks. Y'all, I can't wait to show y'all how much I paid for those drumsticks, y'all. I caught a deal. But anyway, we're making some drumsticks with some sautéed mushrooms and some green beans. Y'all, lunch and dinner this week are going to be good, okay? Simple, delicious, full of flavor, and most importantly, realistic for my life. All right, y'all, it's time for us to set ourselves up for success this week. Let's get to meal prepping. Let's go. We're gonna start with our Mason salad jars. Y'all already know I love these salads, y'all. I love the convenience. I love the grab and go option. And I just love salads in general. So that's why I typically make me a nice salad and I throw it in the fridge because I know all you gotta do is just shake and go, y'all. So all I'm doing here is cutting up my romaine lettuce. Now y'all know mason jar salads are all about the layering, okay? I might not even be cutting this off right because now that I think about it, some might say you just wasted a whole bunch of salad. Well, listen, that's all right. I don't like that end, okay? You can definitely use the shredded lettuce if you want, like iceberg. You can use spring mix. You can use whatever salad you want, okay? I'm just using romaine today. The Mason salad jars are so simple to make, y'all. It's really all about the layering. And right now, the longest part for me is really prepping the items that are gonna go into the mason jar. So I've already rinsed this romaine lettuce. I just kind of want to get that out of the way before we move on to the other ingredients. We're gonna be placing about 2 to 3 cups of romaine lettuce in each mason salad jar, so this looks to be enough. Now it's time to prep the next item. Y'all, I was about to cut up some of these cherry tomatoes, but I decided, you know what? I got me some pico de gallo. This has a little bit of onion, cilantro, has the tomatoes, and everything I want. So we're gonna use this instead. It's the mild kind, so I'm gonna put these back and we'll just put this into our salads. Next, we're gonna slice up our protein. Y'all, the protein that we're using today is some cooked ham and some oven roasted turkey. I got both of these from Walmart. So the cooked ham that I'm using actually only has less than 1 gram of sugar and 0 carbs, y'all. That's the one thing about ham. I was looking for the honey ham, but baby, that honey ham, every single honey ham that I saw had a whole bunch of carbs in it, had a whole bunch of sugar, added sugar and all of that. So I was even thinking about drizzling my 0 sugar honey into this ham or into my mason jar. I don't know, I might do it. I decided to just go ahead and go with the cooked ham version instead, because that's the one thing, if you're not reading the labels, y'all, you might mess around and have something that is definitely off of your plan if you're not careful. All right, our ham is all chopped up. Now let's move on to the turkey. This is 4 servings right here of the oven roasted turkey breast. Turkey breast is all cut up. Let's put that to the side. And our ham is good to go as well. Our protein is ready, and we're gonna put this to the side. Let's move on to the next step. So y'all, I told y'all it's gonna be a simple meal prep for lunch this week because all the other items that I have are already prepackaged. Like for example, I'm gonna add a little bit of jalapeno slices that's already in the jar, and also some banana peppers. So y'all, it is time for us to start assembling these salad jars. Fam, I always tell you the key to freshness with these mason jar salads is definitely the layering, okay? So you always want to start off with the dressing or any type of sauce that you're using for the salad jars. The dressing that I'm using today is some Northern Italian dressing. There's some basil and Romano in this dressing, definitely low carb and also low sugar. Now the next step is the wet ingredients. So if I would have cut up my tomatoes or if I added cucumbers to this dish, then I would be placing it in right here. But instead, I'm using my pico de gallo. I'm putting about 2 tablespoons into each mason jar. Now I'm going to add my banana pepper slices into each jar. I'm just grabbing maybe about 2 to 3 forkfuls. I'm doing my best to maybe shake it just a little bit just to make sure that all of that juice doesn't come into this jar as well. But if some of it does, that's okay because I like the flavor. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit of our jalapeno peppers, not too much, but just enough to give it a tiny bit of spice. That's enough right there. Y'all, as I was layering these mason jars, I realized that the pico de gallo absolutely has a little bit of onion in it, but for me, it's mostly just like tomatoes. So I had a little bit of red onion in my fridge, so all I'm doing here is just slicing it up, and I'm gonna divide that into these mason jars as well. Y'all know I love me some onions. Right, we're just gonna place that in there. Now it's time for us to add our protein. We'll start off with our ham. I'll just do my best to divide this up into 4. And now we're gonna add our turkey. I also decided to add just a little bit of that real bacon crumble that I have. I'm also adding a little bit of shredded cheese. Today I'm using some Kobe Jack. It's a little bit of Kobe and Monterey Jack cheese mixed. All right, that's it, y'all. Our mason jars are fully layered, and now it's time for us to take the last step, and it's to add in the greens. So I'm putting in my romaine lettuce here. Like I said before, about 2 cups, 2 to 3 cups. Just fill up your salad jar. I'm making a mess. Our salads for the week are completed, y'all. This is what they look like. I'm gonna place the tops on them, put them to the side, and now let's get started on dinner. Y'all, you will not believe the deal that I scored. I got all of this chicken right here, plus 3 more bags of 3 more chicken in each bag, okay? It's about 9 more chicken drumsticks, and all of this for 78 cents a pound, y'all. 78 cents a pound at my local butcher. So all of this chicken was actually less than $8. So I know I won't be using that much in this meal prep. So I have about 10 drumsticks here, and I have 9 drumsticks in these bags. I put them in these bags and I'm gonna throw them in the freezer and we can use them another time. Let's get started. So those of you that have watched me cook my chicken drumsticks before, y'all know that I have already rinsed these drumsticks with some water, a little bit of salt, and I added some vinegar today as well. And all I'm doing here, y'all, is cutting a slit in the thick part of the chicken drumstick. I've been doing this for a while. This is what I learned from my mom. And doing this step helps the seasoning get up in and through the drumstick, okay? That's what I believe. That's how I've been doing it, and it's been working for me. So that's why I do that. All the drumsticks are all slid up. I'm adding just a little drizzle of avocado oil, and we're gonna mix that on in. I want it to go all up and through those drumsticks, just to give it a little crisp when it's in the oven. Get all up in those slits as well. All right, now it's time to season. I'm gonna swap out these gloves. I'll be right back. Before we start seasoning, I wanted you to know that I have preheated the oven at 375 degrees, and I am using my staple seasoning. We're starting off with some garlic powder, some Goya total seasoning, some onion powder, some Creole seasoning, some Morton's nature seasoning, some black pepper, some ground cayenne red pepper, and some paprika. And now we're just mixing it on in. I like to start off with mixing it in one piece at a time, making sure that that slit has that mixture, that seasoning up in there. I like that flavor, okay? The seasoning is where you build your flavor, and that's how you're gonna be able to sustain the way you're eating, because you don't want no bland food. And I know this may seem like it's a lot of seasoning, but not for me. This is a lot of chicken, okay? This is a lot of chicken. It's about 10 drumsticks, and there's some big drumsticks, y'all. They're full of meat, and I wanna make sure that every bite has that flavor. Plus, you can use however much seasoning you want. I don't know if you noticed that I actually didn't use any salt. I've been kind of cutting back on the salt lately, especially depending on the seasoning that I'm using. So for example, that Creole seasoning is very much so salty. And the Morton's nature seasoning that I also use, it has salt in it, although it's low sodium. So when I actually taste the food that I cook, when I use the Creole seasoning and the Morton's nature seasoning, it just kind of seems like that balances it out, and I don't need any salt, y'all. So I'm not using any salt today in this chicken, but I may use it on the side, so we'll see. But yeah, definitely use whatever you like. You do not have to use my staple seasonings. These are just what I like to use, and they taste good to me. All right, it is smelling good, fully seasoned, looking good. It's time for us to go ahead and grab our baking dish. Fam, we got our baking dish on deck, and all I'm doing here is adding a little bit of low sodium chicken broth. This is the kind that I use. And now I'm just adding the chicken on in. I'm trying to place it in a way where I can fit as much as I can into this pan. Here we go. We got about 6 on top. I think we are good, because part of me was thinking I wouldn't be able to fit everything in, y'all. We'll see. Oh, here we go. It always got to be one. We got one more left. All right, y'all, we gonna make this thing fit, honey. It's gonna have to fit, okay? Dang it, I need a bigger pan, y'all. Okay, so we got our broth in, we have our chicken in. Now we're gonna add just a little bit of veggies on top. I have about half an onion here, and all I'm doing is just slicing some pieces just to add some flavor to this dish. And we're done with the onions, y'all. I also had this half a green bell pepper that was chilling in the fridge, waiting to be used. So that day is today, okay? It's been chilling since yesterday, y'all. But anyway, I'm just cutting up, just slicing it up right here, just to add to that flavor as well. Next is about 2 tablespoons of butter. I usually slice that up, place it on the corners of the pan, and sometimes on top of the chicken as well. I just place it anywhere in that pan, but it's gonna infuse into that little sauce, that gravy. that the chicken ends up making, and it'll be really good. So that's all I'm doing here. And all I'm doing here is adding 2 cups of water, about 2 cups, just to balance out the flavor and the juices of this broth, okay? You don't want it too salty. It's time for this to go in the oven. Now y'all remember the oven has been preheating already on 375 degrees, so it is nice, hot, and ready to go. Now while that chicken is actually cooking and we're waiting to flip it at the 30-minute mark, I'm adding a little bit of avocado oil to this skillet. I'm also adding about half a tablespoon of butter. While this is heating up on the stove, I've added a saucepan right behind it, and I'm adding the green beans right in. I'm using the cut green beans, no salt added. I'm just gonna let these green beans heat up a little bit in here. I have my burner on medium heat, medium to low heat. I'm just placing a little bit of black pepper and a couple pinches of salt to give it a little flavor. The last step with these green beans is just to add about half a tablespoon of butter to them as they simmer up, and that's it. Now let's move right back over to our skillet. Our skillet is heated up nicely, y'all. It is time to add in our baby Bella mushrooms. I've already rinsed them off, and now we're just gonna go ahead and add them in. Let's mix this on up, get that butter and get that oil mixture all up and through there. We're gonna let these mushrooms saute for a little bit and we will be back. All right, fam, it's been about 5 minutes and the mushrooms are softening up quite nicely. So now it is time for me to season them up. So I'm gonna put a little bit of onion powder, of course, some garlic powder, a little bit of my total seasoning, Goya, that I love so much, and just a little bit of this Creole seasoning. Smelling so good, y'all. These mushrooms look so nice already. I'm just gonna mix them up and allow them to saute for a little bit longer while we take a look at those green beans. Y'all, these green beans are ready to come off of the stove. I'm gonna drain them, and then we're gonna move back over to the mushrooms, and we're gonna add the green beans to the mushrooms mixture. All right, y'all, the green beans are drained and ready. I'm just gonna go ahead and add this to the mushrooms. Let's mix it in. Y'all, for the sides, you really could make any sides you want. If you wanted some broccoli, some cauliflower, some stir-fry onions, bell peppers, whatever. But for some reason today, I was in the mood for some savory mushrooms. Mushrooms have protein in them too, and they're just so good. And I was also in the mood for some green beans. So I said, you know what? That's what we're gonna do, okay? Our side is complete, y'all. And this is what it is looking like. It smells so good, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the burner off. We're gonna place this to the side and we're gonna check on our chicken. Y'all, it has been 30 minutes, so let's check on this chicken. And this is what the chicken is looking like at the 30-minute mark. Delicious so far, but not cooked. We are going to flip this chicken around, y'all. All right, chicken is all flipped. We're gonna place it right back in that oven for another 30 minutes. We'll check right back in. Fam, it has been closer to about 45 minutes. I wanted to make sure that this chicken was fully cooked because these drumsticks are pretty thick. These are looking nice. This is what they're looking like after being cooked for 30 minutes on one side and 45 minutes on the other. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and flip them around one last time, and we are gonna change the mode to broil. We're gonna allow this to broil for about 3 to 4 minutes per side, and then we'll be back. All right, y'all, it is the moment of truth. Both sides have broiled for 3 to 4 minutes, and now let's see what this looks like. Y'all, this chicken looks so good, and I know that it is gonna be so tender. I'm gonna allow it to go ahead and sit and cool off before we actually plate it into our meal prep containers, and then I'll show you the full spread for the week. Fam, here is the spread for the next 4 days. For lunch meal prep, we have the copycat version of the Firehouse Hook Ladder subs in a jar, done my way. And then for dinner, we have some juicy oven-baked chicken drumsticks with some veggies. And on the side, we have some sautéed mushrooms and some green beans. Y'all, this is gonna keep me full. It's high protein, low carb, and it's gonna help me stay on track for the week. Meal prep is complete for the week. All I gotta do is clean up now, and I am good to go for the next 4 days. All right, y'all know I always stop at the end and share with you any type of reheating or storage tips. Now for the mason salad jars, y'all already know, just make sure that that lid is shut tight and your salads will be good and fresh for the next 4 to 5 days in the fridge. When you're ready to eat it, you just shake it up and pour it into the bowl and you enjoy yourself. Now for the chicken drumsticks, you can definitely heat them up in the microwave 1 to 2 minutes or whatever hotness level that you would like. You can even put them in the air fryer for a little crisp if you like for 4 to 5 minutes. As far as the sauteed mushrooms and the green beans, you can actually place them back on the stove and heat them up that way. Throw them up in the microwave as well and heat them up for 1 to 2 minutes. Either way, reheating is super simple for the meals today. Y'all, whenever I finish meal prepping, I feel really good because I feel like I am halfway to my goal. I feel like I have no reason to not have a backup plan. I truly believe that if you fail to plan, then sometimes that means you plan to fail. So if you're just starting on your weight loss journey and you're thinking about meal prepping and you're somebody that is okay eating the same meals a couple of days in a row, I definitely encourage meal prepping for you because that's something that helped me on my journey. It gives me that great feeling when I know for a fact I already know what I'm eating. I already know I'm eating on plan, and it takes out that decision making, or if I have a bad day or something happened at work or it's a long day, I don't have to cook because my cooking was already done, baby, and my meal is ready to be reheated up, okay? If you're meal prepping this week, go ahead, drop it in the comments below. I want to know what you're eating this week, what you're meal prepping. I would love to hear some new ideas. All right, fam, that's it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.